request time here on the YouTube channel. Haven't done a phone interview with Billy VanInwegen. Man, I'm thinking 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. We have seen him at the track, so if you search his name on our YouTube channel, you will find him. Reason for this call, somebody suggested this. I missed some of the early Chili Bowl on Saturday, but Billy VanInwegen, well, he was very busy at the Chili Bowl. After flipping in his qualifying heat on Wednesday, he started in the K on Saturday, worked his way up all the way to the G, so that's right, he made it through 5 races before he eventually caught up with him. He's got an aggressive schedule coming up this year with both modified and sprint car stuff, so let's head out to Port Jervis, New York, which is about 15 minutes away from Orange County. BVI. Well, do we have a nickname, Billy? We need one, don't we?
Yeah, I guess we could work on that. Most people just stick to Billy V, but yeah, definitely been an eventful start to the year, and definitely looking forward to getting going.
So let's go back to Wednesday. How'd you flip?
Well, was leading the heat race, and
Really?
the fastest car of the night, believe it or not, was in my heat race. So, fastest in practice, and kind of knew Jake Swanson was going to be the one we had to beat, and got a little frustrated, saw him underneath me, and pushed the envelope a little bit, and I guess you could say it was a product of just flat out trying a little bit too hard, but tagged the front stretch wall just a smidge with the right rear. I'm not sure if it broke the W-link off or if something cracked, but the car just snapped hard to the right, ended up barrel rolling 2-3 times, and got collected by another guy that came in and ultimately did enough damage to the front end. I wasn't able to tip the thing back over and keep going. So less than ideal, and kind of put myself in a hole for the rest of the Chili Bowl. But sometimes that's how it goes, and if you're not trying, you got bigger problems.
And then you went to the D and won it, or something like that?
Yeah. So from there, obviously there's 80 cars in your qualifying night, and from it's a passing points deal. So from starting on the pole to, getting towed off is the least ideal thing you can do. Started us last row of the D main. We were able to win that, which put us like 12th or so in the C main, taking 4 cars, and I got the 5th, and that was the end of our evening. So that's kind of how we started so far back on Saturday. But, fortunately we were able to have a good showing on Saturday.
Yeah, they went as far back as the O, by the way, on Saturday. Billy got into the K. A lot was made about this. I didn't talk to you about this in our pre-interview, but there was a lot made about passing points. And I know the Patriot Sprint Tour ran passing points. Any thoughts?
It's an interesting format. I think, for the car count there's really not much else that they can do. It definitely makes it fair. It's unfortunate when you get put in a spot where you're on the front row. It's a high-pressure situation.
Yeah.
I got caught up in that and probably put a little bit too much pressure on myself. And, the Chili Bowl is definitely something that's got a place in my heart. It's one of the coolest events that you can go to. I always tell everybody back home that you need to check it out. But, it's a lot of pressure, and, there's so many people to help me get out there and stuff like that. You want to make the most of your qualifying night, but unfortunately you're kind of put in a spot of it's feast or famine come heat race time. You definitely need to make the most of it, go forward, or, at least maintain if you start on the front row, and if you don't, you're in a pretty bad situation anyway. So I don't really have good or bad feelings towards it. I think it's the right format for that situation.
Okay.
I know Brett Deo messed around a little bit with it when he first started his series. Now we're kind of just on a draw, redraw, or time trial format where we race. But there's good and bad to it, that's for sure.
All right, so now we're up to Saturday, and of course this is week before last, obviously, where we are right now, recording this on Tuesday night, by the way. So you're getting ready for the K. What's going through your head as you're sitting there doing all that backwards alphabet in your head, and how many races you got to go to try to make it in? Well, how do you even attack that?
Sure, obviously, definitely beat myself up pretty bad about Wednesday, and that's not the showing we went out there for sure. So had a couple of days to try and sleep that one off. Definitely had a couple of beverages and watched some more racing and some friends of mine, and definitely knew going up when I woke up Saturday morning it was go time. Definitely wanted to put in a good showing and get through as many of them as I could, and just ultimately get as much experience and track time as I could. That's the hard part about going out there is you don't really get a ton of track time, so you got to make the most of it. And Steve Buckwalter and his guys that I raced with out there, they definitely always put in a solid effort, and we were ready to go. We got there Saturday morning, and kind of knew that you don't even get hot laps for your main on Saturday.
Oh, you don't?
You got to you got to get in your car, be ready to go, and definitely showed up and did the best we could.
So what was it like when you got through the K, the J, the I, and start getting towards the H and G? Were you thinking maybe I can make it, or was it just let's see how far we can go?
it's definitely a see how far you can go mentality because there's so many ways that can go sideways. They're 10 to 12 lap features, and I knew we had a great car. The car was definitely capable of, I was kind of hoping to go out there and be better than we were the year prior, where we were in the C main on Saturday night and trying to, make it into the main program. But they gave me a great race car, and each race you get through definitely gets more intense. The car quality and the car speed goes up. So the guys you're racing with, you start to recognize them a little more when you're coming up through there. And it was definitely cool to be a part of that, and definitely an experience I always remember.
So were you smiling at the end of the day on Saturday?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, I feel like I left a little bit on the table. I think we needed to catch one more caution or something in the G main, which was the final one I ran, and we might have been able to flip through that one. But from there, yeah, I mean, I think we got the most out of what we could do there, and I think we got through the second most mains of anybody in that building, which I don't really.
Nice.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be back that far in the
Right.
program, especially when you have as good as a race car as that was provided. But sometimes you got to take the cards you're dealt, and I feel like we did the best we could.
What's the old line? You go to the Army or you go to the war with the Army you have, not the one that you want, right? So same kind of mentality at this point. So, of course, Billy does a lot of other things. He does do a lot of modified racing. Do you do more modified racing than sprints? Probably, right?
I would say these days, there was a couple years there we did the whole ESS schedule and stuff like that, and just kind of I would say a product of growing up and having a little bit more of a full-time job and stuff like that. Now it's kind of tough to make all of those events with me being down this far. But yeah, I would say we've kind of picked up the pace a little bit with our modified program, and there's been a little bit more of that to do in Orange County in the years past. Kind of a different story this year, but we're I would say our primary focus is on the modified program right now, and still very fortunate to fill in with a lot of 305 and 360 races that I still hold dear to my heart and love doing that as well.
4 wins for him last year, one in a big block, one in a 358, 2 305 wins, Weedsport and Pencan. How are things at Orange County? I mean, I'm up here. I don't hear as much as you do.
I'm still not really hearing a ton of information, and obviously the rumor mill this time of year is turning full bore. So obviously the schedule just came out, which was kind of what I've been hearing, that we're going to scale back a little bit. I don't know that that's the worst thing in the world. 6 big block races, obviously a short track super series elite race at the beginning of the year, 6 big block, 6 small block races. So last year I think we almost had double that, and there was a lot of programs where we were running the same big block and small block on the same night. Not going to be as much of that this year, which is a little less brutal on the wallet, a little less brutal on the crew. So going to see how it goes. You know what I mean? A lot of people love to jump on the internet and brutalize the place, but
I do.
Cost of fuel, cost of tires, none of that stuff's getting cheaper. And I think they're still going to have great purses. I heard $5,000 to win for the big blocks.
Good.
And haven't seen the 358 purse yet, but I mean, with it being 15 minutes from our house, it's kind of obviously foolish not to race there. We had a pretty successful year there, so looking forward to building on that. Got a lot of great people behind me, and I do like the fact that the schedule's scaled down because it's going to allow us to do some traveling too, some other places that we'd like to do, and gives my car owner a break a little bit, gives my family a break a little bit. Our crew guys won't be more out, so I know there's good and bad to both of it.
Only about a minute left at this point. How much sprint car racing do you see working in there? I mean, is it still possible you could race almost every weekend?
Oh, there's so much racing out there to do. We could definitely do that. And obviously, my girlfriend's family, they own Thunder Mountain Speedway.
Oh, that's right.
So if we had to fill in, I could definitely make it there. And the sprint car schedules obviously just came out as well. So my dad's kind of on the keyboard and making up his racing calendar like he does every year. And we're seeing what works for everybody. I have 2 great car owners in Joey Barbagallo and Mike Van Dusen, and a pile of great sponsors behind us. So definitely looking forward to putting together the schedule that makes sense for everybody. And if there's races that we should be at and that makes sense for everybody to do, and we want to do it, we'll be there. And definitely excited to get going. Definitely had a great year last year. I'm hoping to build on it and keep moving forward.
You just reminded me to call Carl Spoonhour. I wrote that down for tomorrow, so I'll make sure I get to do that. So I appreciate your time, man. Good job again. I can't wait to see you at the racetrack, and please keep in touch, okay?
All right, Doug, absolutely. Thank you for your time, and definitely looking forward to getting going here.
This was a request, guys, so if you have a request, just send it to me, Doug@DougsDirtDiary.com. This one came through Facebook. You can also put it in the comments, but remember to share, like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff, as we're going to have a lot of fun this year. We got over 500,000 views last year. We're looking to up that a little bit here in 2023. You guys take care. We'll have a lot of good stuff up for you this week.